Hi, it's Mo. Welcome back to the property vlog. Before we get into this week's video, a quick reminder to please, if you're enjoying the content, give it a like, give it a thumbs up. Please share the video with anyone you think that will get value from it, and also subscribe to the channel. This week, a site update from Bramdean in Exeter. There's been tons of progress since the last video. So without any further ado, over to Tom Fenton, Development Manager from KHP, and Kurt from SML, who is the main contractor on site.
What we got here is a crocodile. All right.
Yeah. No. I won't start with so. I do that every video. I can't help it. So what you can see here, the front door's in the middle. You want to be in it? Do you want to be in the video? Is that Argyle? No, we're not having that.
What was it called? Bramdean? Villa. Bramdean Villa. Yeah. Close. Can we swap sides because you're on the taller one? Aren't we?
So we're here on top of the music house roof, and I wanted to show you before we do any major works what it looks like, so you can see once it's finished. But essentially we are overhauling this roof. It just isn't fit for purpose anymore, so we're improving it majorly, and what we are doing as part of this is reducing any future maintenance. And the way we're doing that is I'll show you between the right and the left. If you look on this side here, we've reduced this parapet down. If you look on the left hand side, you can see what it used to look like, the height of it, and therefore all the rainwater runs into that gutter, and those gutters used to block regularly. So the act of reducing that height down and then oversailing the roof, so essentially making the roof sheets longer, you are completely mitigating that risk, and therefore it just improves the future maintenance of the building and makes that a lot easier to manage going forward. What we've got here is the lowered parapet. You can see here the old roof sheet ends at this point. The new roof sheet is built up higher than this, and it shoots right over the top of this lowered parapet. So any rainwater goes down to the lower gutters. So you reduce completely the risk of water building up on top. Once the new roof sheets have been installed on this roof, there'll be quite a large array of solar panels. And it's one of the ways that this project is sustainable. And the solar panels will just be located across this roof here, and it will feed quite a fair bit of the landlord's electricity supply on site. We've also got things like electric car chargers as well. We are stood on the outside of the scaffold of the music house, and we're looking down over the vast site that we've got here at Richmond Grove. You can see underneath us the excavator covering over the soakaway crates, which are located where you can see they've rolled in this vague area here. And that is to take all of the surface water from site, connect into the surface water sewer. Up on the second floor of the music house, as I said, we're on the outside of the scaffold. You can see we've started to form the new dormers, which are covered under this sheeting here. New batten, new membrane, new guttering, and what the operatives have been doing here is essentially waterproofing the gutter. So they formed the gutter in ply. They then put this fiberglass resin it in over the ply to waterproof it, and then they've used paint to go over the top to seal it all in and also get a colour match on the other colours up here. So you can see where the battens are, that will be natural slates, and the dormers will have the same sort of fiberglass to form the outer cheeks. What we've got here is the new natural slate, which is going on this face of the second floor of the music house. It's actually the same slate which we're using throughout, so we're using this slate on the roof of the detached house at the front, the detached house at the back, and also the same slate as what we will be using on the schoolhouse. What we've got here is the entrance to Bramdean Villa, which is the large detached house at the front. It's got its own entrance, and it's got a huge driveway which can even fit a telehandler. What we will do is have a wander in through what will be the new front door, and we'll show you around the inside. Got the big grand hallway, and then these large rooms left hand, right hand side of this. What you'll see out the back of this large opening here is what will be your garden, which won't have insulation and rubbish in it. Right, we'll have a wander over to the Muse house, which is at the rear of site. We're stood here at the rear of site. This is the Muse house, which is another detached house. You can see the progress where we're at the moment. The block work is up to first floor level, and it won't be long till we're putting the roof trusses on, which are currently behind if you want to pan around. So we've got the materials on site ready to go, and we're just pushing for the block work to get up to that height so that we can start putting the roof on. What we've got behind us is the scaffold to the west elevation of the schoolhouse. You can see in the central part of this scaffold is the new block work to the extension, which is not far off the highest point. And at that highest point, there is a terrace to the middle apartment, which will be a very unique feature of this building, to have an actual external terraced area. So we're stood here in front of one of the communal entrances to the schoolhouse. What we will do is just have a wander inside and see the progress that's been made in the last month or so. Stood in the communal stair one of the schoolhouse. What we're looking at here is what will become the front door to apartment 17. You'd come in through the front door, you'd see some cupboard space, bedroom, bathroom, and then this area behind where these chaps are stood here, this is the kitchen area, kitchen living area. So we'll just have a quick wander upstairs. You can see here new floor joists. They are levelling out these floors. Lots going on up here. You can see here they're prepping for the second floor, because it won't be long till we've got the steels in for the roof. And actually there's not a lot else to see. You can see just the inside of that new extension I mentioned before. And that's it, we'll go back downstairs.
Yep, so since the turn of the weather, since the start of the week, since the wettest March in over 40 years, we've managed to push on the superstructure. First floor joists are installed, so the bricklayers are allowed to build up. We've got the internal solid block walls being built up as well. So hopefully in the next 2 weeks, I would suggest, is when we'd look to start putting the truss roof on. So the reason why House 39, the Muse, is so far ahead, there's 3 section completion dates, apologies, for across the site, with House 39 being section completion 2. So we actually commenced this build ahead of schedule. Groundwork has pushed on well, got our footings in, so we're ahead of schedule. So House 39 being the Muse and the Music House are both ahead of schedule, whereas obviously we've got slight delays due to weather forecast in March for House 35. And again, the Music House is far ahead. The partitioners have first fixed near enough every floor now. Electricians are pushing on the first fix, ready for close off. Then we'll put our first fix ventilation in, MF ceilings, plaster, second fix is away. The schoolhouse behind us, scaffolding is now 99% complete to the rear of the building. The extension is flying up, floor joists will be going in next week. And internal structural repairs and joist and steel works are commencing. So from Wednesday next week, we've got a crane coming in, 40-ton crane for the roof trusses and the roof steels to section terrace 3, which is the north elevation.
If we're filming here in, let's say, a month's time, what will this site look like generally as an overview?
So from where we're standing now, we'd hope to have all the drainage complete, curb lines installed, and I'm going to say it, hopefully the first base of tarmac in, increase more parking spaces, which will prevent issues ongoing externally outside the site. Music house behind us will have the over roof internally. I'd like to say we'd have 2 to 3 apartments fully plastered, ready for second fix carpentry and prep decoration. So we're hoping that in 3 to 4 weeks, that we'll have all the windows, potentially the doors, installed to Bramdean Villa. We'll have the roof on, which will enable us to do the screening works as well. Once they've done the windows to House 35, Bramdean Villa, the plan is to go up to House 39 at the back. Get that watertight, same process again, roof on, get our screen down, ready for second fix. And then the commencement will be the windows to the Music House. But on the Music House specifically, we've got precast window sills. They were ordered 6 or 7 weeks ago with an 8 to 10 week lead time. So we need to get the precast window seals on the external skin fitted first. And then the aluminium windows will be fitted retrospectively once Bramdean Villa and the Muse are complete. But yeah, I would say the most complicated task we've got coming up at the minute is definitely going to be the structural repair works to the schoolhouse roof and second floor. I would say the most enjoyable part is when you get a sunny day and you've not got issues with the road as such, and you've got subcontractors who are happier because they can push on. We're seeing more progression, specifically with the bricklayers of the superstructure.
So we're on top lift of the scaffold on the east elevation of the schoolhouse. and I will point out and show you what's generally happened in this period. So if we look down this side, you can see the area which has been filled in the last week where there was soak-away crates. You can see an excavator down there digging for the location I believe to be the next drainage chamber, and that's really going to be one of the focuses during the next month. Really progress all the utility orders, and as it stands we're looking at July for the main installations of utilities and associated road closures. You can see on the far side you've got the Bramdean villa where the block layers are just going up the next few courses to get it up to roof height. You can see the deck, there's a temporary deck's been put down for the second floor level, so that is really coming along nicely. In comparison, you've got the number 39, which is the Muse detached property, and you've got block layers working there as well. You can see the level they're at there is the first floor deck level. That's working in sequence behind number 35, which is what we wanted. You can see on the music house we've already been standing up there, but the focus is getting the roof on, doing all the roofing details, and internally it's flying inside, to be honest, with all the partitions. But there's a lot of mechanical and electrical first fix which has already been undertaken within the music house, so we've seen really good progress in the last month, and I would expect that to continue. Now moving on to the schoolhouse, this is where most of the complications are associated with the site, just due to the nature and age of the building. The focus in this building is pretty much all structural, so they're working through all the structural alterations up to the second floor, and in the next period I expect all this roof to come off and all the new roof structure to go back on.
Massive thanks to Tom and Kurt for the update. As you can see, progress is really steaming ahead on site in Exeter. We're actually reserving some of the units already, so it's really encouraging to see that there's a really active market for these types of units in Exeter. So we're really pushing to get the units complete as soon as possible, while of course maintaining quality and health and safety on site. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.